In today's video, we are discussing exactly what you need to be paying attention to moving into the new week. Will Bitcoin see a continuation toward the upside, breaking through its prior weekly high, or are we going to see a correction moving into interest rate data? These are questions we're going to be answering and so much more. Let's dive on in. Okay, MegaWhale team, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having an absolutely fantastic weekend. In today's video, we are taking a look at the recent rally for Bitcoin, the breakout of the daily downtrend, whether or not this rally is going to continue now that 102.5k has been flipped as support, or if we are going to see a correction. We're also going to be taking a look at the altcoin market, as the altcoin market has seen a lot of volatility over the last 24 hours, the total cryptocurrency market cap, and Bitcoin dominance. Before we get into it, smash the like button, hit the comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos for Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, the structural information, no hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you are interested in, join us on Telegram. That is the first link down below. You will get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop for cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. And if you were interested in taking your trading to the next level, join us in VIP by clicking the pinned comment of the free channel. We post trading setups with exact entries, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and so much more. You'll also get access to all of our group chats, our general chat, our trading chart and education chat, our daily video help and news chat. Check it out, guys. Over 700 members, been operating since 2021 January, so 50 plus months. Go ahead and click the pinned comment by clicking my name or these links to find out more. Let's jump in, guys. As we can see, over the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has managed to retest that 102.5k major level of support, this being the prior lower high, right? We had a high at 108k, we had that high established, the all-time high. We saw a rejection, a build up to a new high at 102.5, only then to see a correction bout down into those lows. And we've actually now broken through 102.5, flipping this level as an area of support. This is pretty major for Bitcoin, and it could act as a trampoline of sorts to push the price higher, particularly because we have broken out of our major downtrend and the momentum has flipped positive now for the first time during the entire period of time we have been above this 89k region. We're going to be discussing this and a lot more in today's video. I do want to also take a look at the altcoin market, as we have seen a whole bunch of volatility. If we look at the altcoin charts over here on the side, we've seen a lot of altcoins fluctuate pretty massively just over the last 24 hours. If we go to liquidation data, a lot of these altcoins having mass liquidations, and this is mainly as a consequence of that meme coin that was released by Donald Trump, the Trump coin. As we can see over here, the Trump coin taking up the majority of the market share over the last 24 hours, with over $30 billion of liquidity stripped away from other altcoins and moving into this one coin. So we have seen a massive correction mostly for a lot of altcoins out there as a consequence of a lot of that liquidity moving into this one particular coin. We'll be discussing that and more in today's video. Let's take a look at this. 24-hour volume is up 15% at 281 billion. And liquidations up 89% at 524 million over the past 24 hours. You can see only 59 million, so a little bit over 10% of those liquidations came from Bitcoin, and a little bit over 15% of those liquidations came from Ethereum. So a lot of that actually came from altcoins, as we just mentioned, with that mass rotation of money into one particular coin. Moving over to the economic news and market data, we're looking at the economic news. We do have the Trump inauguration day, which is coming up, I think, on the 21st, and that is going to be the 20th for America time. This could spark a bit of volatility. Depending on what Trump says, if he says anything or mentions anything about cryptocurrency, we could see some volatility, so keep that in mind. And then really the next major event we do have is in 10 days time, which is the FOMC meeting. Of course, we do have the interest rate discussion and the interest rate release that is going to have a massive influence on, again, the expected short-term volatility and potential macro projections of risk assets moving into the coming months. Looking at the S&P 500 and DXY, the DXY is holding steadily at that 110 level. Again, depending on what happens with interest rates will determine where the DXY is moving towards. If we do see a correction, that is going to generally be bullish for the risk asset market. Looking at the S&P 500, we are coming back to retest this level. As we mentioned in our prior video, for us to be expecting continuations higher, we need to see two things. Number one, we need to see a breakout of this RSI downtrend. That would signify that during this period of price action, while we've had that exhaustion developing as per the bearish divergence, we have now seen that exhaustion completely dissipate. We have seen the selling pressure absorb and we have seen the buyers get back in control. That is what it means when that RSI breaks upwards. By doing that, we will likely see a continuation in the price action. So watch that very closely. Again, completely dependent on what happens with interest rates. If they go ahead and pause interest rates, if they cut interest rates, we're going to see a massive rally. If they talk about in the Federal Reserve press conference after that they are looking to do more than 2 interest rate reductions, that is going to result in a massive rally. However, if they lean harder into bringing inflation down, that will be contradictory to what interest rates do, which is again generally bring inflation up, okay, and weaken the dollar. We will see the market correct. So we do have to be aware of those potential scenarios moving into the next 10 days. Let's go ahead, guys, and quickly go over this. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin on the short term and the daily. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin dominance, and we're going to be taking a look at both the total and the total altcoin market. Let's jump into it. Before we do, go ahead and sign up to BitGet, BitUnix, or BingX. These are the exchanges I personally trade on. Again, we'll play a quick ad to find out more. You get 15 to 45% lifetime trading fee discounts on these exchanges based on your trading volume. So click any of them, sign up to any of them, and go ahead and check it out and support the channel. We'll see you back in just a moment. If you are looking for a new exchange or just want to support the channel, sign up to BitUnix with the link down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume, as well as access to a bonus reward center, and of course, all of the exclusive campaigns we run on this exchange. You'll also get access to BitUnix being a non-KYC exchange, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the globe without regulations. And most importantly, I only promote exchanges I trust and I use. As you can see, I trade on BitUnix very regularly, being the highest VIP level with over $500 million in trading volume for the last 30 days. And lastly, if you were interested in signing up to our other 2 exchanges, BingX or BitGet, you can also do that via the links down below. You as well will get the 15% trading fee discount and everything else that comes with it. Go ahead and sign up. Thank you for supporting. Let's jump back in. Okay, legends, let's get straight back into it. So taking a look at Bitcoin, and there are 2 key levels we are really watching from here on out. And let's move over to the weekly first and foremost, as I do want to show you something on this weekly chart. As we can see on the weekly chart, we are coming very close here. Incredibly close to breaking through the weekly high. The weekly high is sitting at 104.47. We are currently sitting at 104.33. So we are just a couple $100 away from actually breaking through that weekly high. Now, we do have a weekly candle closing in 23 hours and 40 minutes. Ideally, we want to see this weekly candle close above that prior weekly high to suggest we could potentially be opening up next week from a position of strength, and we could see that continuation upwards. That is what we're watching very closely over the next 24 hours. This is pretty major, so you should be paying attention to that closing price. Moving back to the daily. Over the past few days, we have seen Bitcoin do very well. We saw a breakout of this downtrend as we warned about in our prior video, with a breakout of our RSI. As we mentioned, when we see both of those things occur in conjunction with one another, we generally see a strong reaction upward in the price action. And with that breakout, we saw a move from 100,000 up to around 105.9K. So a 5.5 to nearly a $6,000 rally on the price of Bitcoin as a consequence of that breakout. With that level broken, we can now move over to our short-term charts. As we can see, Bitcoin has retested that 102.5K level. This is a major area of support because it was once a major area of resistance, right? Prior resistance becomes current support, vice versa. Therefore, if we want to see Bitcoin continue upwards to new all-time highs, we absolutely need to sustain above 102.5. If we drop below 102.5, we run the risk of moving back towards that $100,000 level. If we are able to sustain above 102.5 into the weekly close and close that weekly candle above the prior weekly high, it is very likely we actually see a continuation into that prior all-time high, moving into our interest rate decision. Now, the interest rate decision will have a massive impact on where the price goes, not only in the short term, but also where the price goes over the next 4 or 5 weeks following the interest rate decision. So we do have to be very aware that our projections for Bitcoin extend only up until the interest rate decision and not after that. That will change the environment, and therefore we will need to adapt to any changes this have on the price action. So looking at the charts over here, I would personally be expecting Bitcoin to remain bullish and continue upwards into this 106 to 108.5 level, provided we are able to sustain 102.5. If we drop below 102.5, I would then be looking for corrections back to 100,000. However, I think it is more likely we see that continuation, provided this prior lower high acts as a level of support. Let's move over to a smaller time frame chart. As we can see, Bitcoin has been tracking very well along this 50 moving average on the hourly, besides one little drop below. Again, that was a liquidation event. Overall, we are looking for our 50 EMA to remain as a level that we are tracking above. We can see the 50 EMA has actually crossed through that 102.5K level, which is a good sign. It is a sign where if we drop below the 50, maybe we get some sort of leading indicator, the price could correct. And if we do lose that 50 EMA, I would be watching for rejections into 102 and possibly corrections back down to 100. So all in all, in the short term, I am bullish on Bitcoin, but I'm not looking to take massive positions toward the upside here. I'm watching to see how the price reacts, particularly how the price reacts into the weekly close, because again, this level is going to be a level of resistance, right? This is a level of resistance, so we are looking to be more cautious as we approach resistance and simply watching how the price action responds to our prior level of resistance, which is now support, and that 50 EMA we have been tracking. So actionable, I am not really taking any actions here. I'm just scalp trading and waiting. If you do, and if you were paying attention, the entry points for Bitcoin were, of course, this major level of support and the breakout with the RSI flip at that level of resistance. We are now sitting at a weekly level of resistance, so we are being a little more cautious, but we are cautiously optimistic as the price is above our prior lower high. The price has got positive momentum, and the weekly candle may close above the weekly high in 24 hours. Let's talk about the worst case scenarios for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin to look bearish again, we are going to need to drop back below, like we said, 102.5 and primarily 100,000. Losing 100,000 would be very, very bad for Bitcoin, as the last time we lost $100,000, it basically resulted in a full-blown correction into that low $90,000 region. We would not like to see that again. All in all, provided we sustain above 86K, no matter what happens over here, all right, no matter what happens, we are going to be macro bullish. It is only upon the loss of $86,000 do we run the risk of seeing macro corrections. You know, we're looking moving towards a 200 moving average. We're looking moving towards a $73,000 to $74,000 region if 86K is broken. But until then, the expectations are that the price action will continue 110, 115, 120, these key psychological levels, provided the economic policy which stipulates the demand of assets do not dramatically shift to the bearish side, okay? If we see them lean heavily into inflation, that is bad. That is very bad for assets. We may see a correction, okay? If they loosen up a little bit and say, well, inflation's easing a little bit better than expected, we can be a little bit more aggressive with interest rate reductions in 2025, well, then we will likely see this bull market continue and the price to aggressively rally. So those are the levels we are watching. That is how we're playing it. We're short-term cautiously optimistic. We are not looking to ape into new positions right now for Bitcoin. We are simply holding those longs we already have and taking profits as we move into that weekly high. The new week is full of new opportunity. We're watching that weekly close to then act next week. Moving over to the Bitcoin dominance. We can see the Bitcoin dominance chart is still tracking along this downtrend. We've had a few wicks above this level, but all in all, still tracking along this downtrend. Like we said already, if the Bitcoin dominance breaks above this level, we are then looking for altcoins to bleed against Bitcoin. While we do remain below this level, we could see corrections and altcoins will continue to do relatively well. Over the past 24 hours, we have seen the total altcoin market go up aggressively, guys. You know, we saw a move up to 1.13 trillion, was actually the prior all-time high. That's the 2021 all-time high. And we do need to break above this region to see that next leg toward the upside. If we are able to break through that region, we will continue into the next leg of the altcoin season, rallying massively. And as we mentioned in our second channel in our yesterday's video, we talked about how, well, maybe you're watching the total altcoin market cap rally and you're thinking, well, my altcoins aren't doing very well. Well, the answer to that is the market is just ridiculously diluted. And that is just a simple answer. In this cycle, we have hundreds, if not thousands more altcoins. So hundreds of thousands more altcoins where money can go into, okay? And that money gets spread thinner and thinner and thinner the more altcoins there are, okay? So you have to keep that in mind. The total market cap over here for altcoins may not be the best indicator of how your altcoins are performing, but it is a good indicator on how they may perform in the future. Not in terms of where they're going to go 10x, 20x or whatever, but simply their macro swings. Are they going to slowly swing toward the upside? Are they going to swing toward the downside? Are they going to have parabolic impulses upwards? Are they going to see large corrections? Those broader questions we can derive from, those broader questions we can get answers from, should I say, from this chart. So that's why it's important to take a look at this. As we know already, a lot of that money coming to the total came from a $30 billion, impulse into this Trump coin. Okay, we can see the market, how negatively the market overall reacted to all that money being stripped away from these altcoins, particularly meme coins getting hit the hardest, moving into this Trump coin. Now, there's a whole nother can of worms there. I'm not going to get into what I think about that. I think personally, just real simply, I don't think it was beneficial for the cryptocurrency space. I don't think you can say you're pro cryptocurrency, launch a meme coin that essentially strips away $30 billion worth of liquidity into a single coin, where most of that liquidity is more than likely not going to re-enter or reallocate into the market. It's simply going to be sold into cash. That is what I believe is going to happen. So I think it is a net negative for cryptocurrency as a whole. That's all I'm going to say for that. So let's go ahead and wrap the video up there, guys. I hope you had a fantastic time listening. It was a quicker video. It is a Sunday. Get out there, enjoy your day, and we'll catch you in tomorrow's video. See you then.